Rado is a brand that needs no introduction. Whilst it might not have the same fan base as other brands in the Swatch Group, the company has some decent heritage. Rado has existed for over a century and in that time has become renowned for its use of high-tech materials. Oddly enough, one of their biggest hits in recent memory is a reissue of one of their more run-of-the-mill watches, the Captain Cook. The original watch was released in 1962, at a time when dive watches were vital tools made for a specific purpose. Of course, Rado can't resist combining this traditional diver with their affinity for high-tech materials, and at the start of the year they released the Captain Cook in bronze with a retail price of £2,415. Unlike steel, the bronze will develop a natural patina over time, the idea being that the watch will take on its own character as it's worn. In fact, this press sample we've received has started to develop a light patina of its own, and it's noticeably more dull than the model's press photos. What Rado have done with the Captain Cook is try to find a balance between classic 60s aesthetics and the specs a modern diver needs. And they've certainly achieved the latter. The watch is water resistant to a decent 300 meters, and the domed sapphire crystal and ceramic bezel provide protection from scrapes and scratches. Whilst the case is bronze, the screw-in caseback is titanium. This is to minimise any contact between the wearer's skin and the bronze, which could speed up the oxidation process. Its centre is adorned with one of Rado's iconic images, a trio of seahorses. And as to what's underneath that caseback, well, Rado have gone with the ETA C07 movement. The 25 dual automatic beats at a rate of 3 Hz and has a hefty 80-hour power reserve. So, if you're the type of person who takes their watch off for the weekend, you needn't worry about your watch having stopped come Monday. Despite its 42mm size, the Captain Cook wears well on my small wrists, though I wouldn't want it to be any bigger. It's also just 12.5mm thick, which is nice and thin for a watch of this size. The bronze has an all-brushed finish that keeps the watch from looking too formal. If the bronze was polished, I think the watch would look too, well, blingy. The bezel turns with a series of exceptionally satisfying clicks. It's a very solid action, but I feel as though it could do with being a touch smoother. That said, it wins me back with its unusual concave insert. Not that it really matters with a ceramic insert, but the fact it slopes inwards protects it from scratches. Combined with the domed crystal, it adds some delightful character to the watch. The dial is delightfully clean and simple, and of course copies the layout of the original. The deep emerald green of the sunburst dial is pretty mesmerising in person, and the colour pairs wonderfully with the bronze case. Likewise, the golden applied markers match well with the green, and they give off a subtle warm glint when they catch the light. Something you can't really appreciate about the watch until you see it in person is that the dial is actually curved. It's a subtle thing, but together with the minute track printed on the sloped rehort, it provides a great sense of depth. I'm also keen on the quirky font chosen for the Captain Cook text. It's a small detail, but one that really stands out against the clean dial. Likewise, the purple and gold Rado logo also pops. The anchor itself also spins, which is a cool feature originally designed to indicate when a service was required. The brushed broad arrow handset is nice and legible, with a nice level of finishing all round. I was quite surprised to find that the faux-aged lume is reasonably bright. It's not the brightest on the market, but thanks to the large markers and hands, it's easy enough to read in the dark. The green leather strap is delightfully supple, and overall its quality is excellent. My one complaint about it is that it's a bit big for my 6 3/4 inch wrists. Personally, I'd like to wear the watch just one notch tighter, and it's really frustrating Rado didn't add another hole to the strap. Speaking of straps, the Captain Cook bronze has a 21mm lug width. It's an odd choice that makes finding replacement straps a bit of a pain. Fortunately, we at WatchGecko have a few different straps that come in 21mm. I've picked out 3 that I think will look great on the Captain Cook, and whilst we don't offer any of these with the bronze buckle, you can fit the Rado one to all 3 to ensure it matches. Our vintage Otley strap in brown is a great one to pair with the Captain Cook. The rich brown complements both the bronze case and the green dial, whilst giving the watch a smart, casual look. Next is the Zulu Diver sailcloth padded diver's strap. This is ideal for those of you who'd prefer to wear your diver on a more practical strap, and the beige stitching really helps pair the strap with the case. Finally, there's our simple handmade Italian leather strap in reddish brown. The minimalist design of the strap helps reinforce just how clean the dial is and allows its bold colours to take centre stage. So to sum up, at the end of the day, it's hard not to love the Captain Cook. For starters, its design is one that's simple, but one that's also iconically Rado. And the execution of that design has been pretty much flawless. The colours work beautifully, and the Captain Cook is a great example of how well green can work on a watch. Together with the bronze case, it's a match made in heaven. Some people might not get why you'd use bronze for a watch case, but the Captain Cook shows you just how different it can make a watch feel. However, despite all this, with an RRP of £2,415, it's not exactly cheap. Personally, I'm torn as to whether or not it's good value. On the one hand, there's a lot of competition in this price range, but on the other hand, it's hard to criticise the watch itself. Because at the end of the day, what you're getting is a watch that's the complete package. It's from a brand with true heritage, it has a classic design, and it's great quality. So I guess what I'm saying is, it's up to you as to whether the price is worth it. I feel like I've sang nothing but praise about the Captain Cook, but when you consider what it's offering, it really is hard to find fault with the watch. About all I can say is that I'd like the bezel action to be a bit smoother, and for the lugs to have a more conventional width, which I think says everything about the standard of watch Rado has produced here. Anyway, that's it from us. Another review has been done and dusted. I do hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Please do let us know what you think of the watch, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!